What's up, guys? Today we're going to do another AliExpress build with a custom Arabic dial, a fluted bezel, and Jubilee bracelet. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, you guys, so to start off, we are using a NH35 Seiko movement. Over the last year or so, these things have become a little more pricey. They're starting at around 60 US dollars. So maybe for the next build, I'll do a Chinese version of the NH35, see how that works. Alright, here's the dial. It is a all black Arabic dial, Arabic numeral dial with my family member's name on there, custom loom painted. To be honest, this build was probably one of my hardest ones, even though it's just a rather simple build. Everything just seemed to not work out for me. The painting of the loom and the name really was a struggle, but eventually I was able to get it. I did use a Super Luminova powder that I got from AliExpress, as well as I did clear coat this as well to get that nice even shine on there. But yeah, first things first, with any build, you got to match up the legs. These dials do come with extra legs to match certain movements. So there are 4 legs on this one. I had to remove, as you can see there, I have to remove 1 leg per side. They have 2 legs on each side. What I do is I'll just take a pair of tweezers, as these are, not that hard to remove. But choose the one that needs to be removed. Grab a hold of it with tweezers, give it a little jiggle, and it should just come right off. Just double check to make sure that's where it goes. Alright, I'll line the other side with the holes. You can see both those fits there, and it's the upper one that I need to remove on this side. Take the tweezers again, give it a grasp, and just kind of jiggle it back and forth until it snaps off. Alright, now take the dial, place it onto the movement, and there you go. Fits nice and snug. Give it a quick little blow with the air blower. And what I didn't show on this was I also took my Dremel. I've showed this in other videos, and just shaved down the rest of the legs, because I do leave a little bit of a bump on there after the removal, or after using the tweezers to remove it. So I used my Dremel to kind of sand that down. You'll see that in my other videos if you take a look at those. I kind of wanted to shorten my videos up because no one wants to go through some of the boring stuff here. Alright, next step, with the crown and stem in place, we're going to rotate it all the way until the date changes to the next date. That will put the movement at exactly midnight, as this is a dial that does, or a dial and movement that does have a date function on it. And what we're going to do with the hands now, I'm going to put a dial protector over the dial, so I don't scratch it when placing the hour hand onto the dial. I'll end up taking it off for the second sand, just because I have gotten pretty good at this portion of builds as far as the hour markers and minute markers go. But for here, just to demonstrate, this is a dial protector. I got mine from the DIY Watch Club. The hands I'm using are gold plated hands. Probably not real gold because these didn't cost me too much, but they still look good on this black dial with the Arabic numerals. Using my dial pusher now to push on the hour hand, and you gotta wait for that firm click. giving me a little bit of a hard time here with that dial cover. It actually almost makes it more difficult with the dial protector, but you know, for the very bottom hand, which is the hour hand, obviously, it's good to have that extra layer of protection. That way you don't scratch up the dial. Alright, there we go. I think I got it that time. I'll remove the dial protector now. Just slides out. And we're gonna give it a rotate full 24 hours. Just to make sure there's no hiccups or anything like that. We also want to see if the hour marker will match when the date changes. One more round trip. Look closely, you'll see the date come up and change right now. Oh, perfect. All right, so now we are going to take the minute hand. All right, pick it up with a piece of erotico, and boom. That one was so much easier to put on. I got it within the first click. Spun it around. I did move this a little faster, as the seconds hand was a lot harder to put on. As you can see, I'm struggling, so I have kind of sped up the video here, as it took a lot of time to get this thing placed on it, on the dial. You see my ugly mug there? Had to get my jeweler's loop out because I could not even see where I was going to place the second hand within the dial. But with the jeweler's loop, I was actually, as you can see here, gave me a better visual. Sometimes you got to get really close up to these things. A lot of people actually use a microscope for this type of thing. Right now I'm just using jeweler's loop, and I was actually able to finally get it on there. Took a minute. Oh, no, almost there. Did I get it? Oh yes, I think I got it. Let's test it out. Put my jeweler loop away first. Alright, let's give it a test. Alright, it looks like it's moving along there. You can see the seconds hand ticking away. I want to see if it gets caught up on the... Oh, and it did. It got caught up on the minute hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool here, my pusher. I know you shouldn't really use a pusher, but I did it anyways. And just slightly push down on the minute hand there and see if I can make enough clearance for this thing to work. There it goes, full clearance. I sped it up a little bit to see if it worked. All right, she spins all around. Just checking everything, making sure it is working properly. Now I'm spinning the minutes hand to make sure that still clears the hours hand. And we have full clearance on all of this movement. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is remove the stem and crown from the movement. And we're going to work on the case now. Alright, I also bought this case on AliExpress. This was a 40mm fluted bezel with, or stainless steel with a sapphire crown. And there was no Cyclops for the date. I didn't want to have that on this one. And the Jubilee-style bracelet. Right now I am removing the bracelet from the case itself. There is a special tool that came with this bracelet with AliExpress, but I've collected so many over the last few builds. I have a ton of them. But as you can see, it's basically removes or releases the tension from the spring bar from the case into the bracelet, so you can just take off the bracelet. All right, got one side done. Actually, very good bracelet. Solid links, not hollow, very sturdy. Doesn't bend or twist or anything like that. All right, bracelet is now detached. As you can see, there goes the spring bar for the bracelet. And as you can see, I'm just letting the movement run in the background to make sure there's no issues. All right, now we're going to remove the case back. This is not an exhibition case back, so it's solid. I use the little rubber ball, deflated ball, to remove the case back. Works great. I know you should inflate it, but I don't have time for that. Give the inner case a good blow of air. That way there is no debris, dust particles, fingerprints, anything like that within the case, because no one wants to reopen it and start all over just to clean the case. All right, with the case back fully clean, now we are going to join them together. The movement, let's give it a quick blow of air. Both the case back again, or the case again, excuse me. And let's pair the movement dial with the case. Oh my goodness, it's already starting to look so gorgeous. Now I'm going to flip the whole thing upside down to where it reveals the back part of the movement. And I'm just going to adjust to where the whole of the stem can actually fit with the stem and crown into the movement. That way there's no adjustability issues and it aligns perfectly within the case. And those of you with a keen eye, yes, that is my logo that I put onto the back of the rotor. You won't see it unfortunately, but if someone happens to open it up, you'll see it there. All right, now we are going to install the stem and crown again. Make sure that the movement is perfectly centered within the case. It does look like I have a little bit of issues here, so what I needed to do with this was take out the crown and stem again and kind of trim the stem a little bit shorter. That way it fits perfectly in the movement without giving it too much of a struggle. Almost dropped it there. Did you see that? Yeah, it's giving me way too hard of a time. Like I said, I struggled with this one for some reason. I don't know why. I'd already cut the stem earlier, but it just needed to be trimmed a little bit more. So I am going to remove the crown off of the stem again. And to make sure that the stem stays in place, what I also do, I did not show that in this video, was add a little bit of Loctite to the stem itself. That way the crown could just be placed on there perfectly. And I actually switched out the crown itself. I found one that better fit this case, which, as you can see, the old crown in the background there. And then you can also see on the case back here, because now it's time to refit the case, or the case back here, there's a little gasket that goes between the case and the case back. This allows the watch to be waterproof. And I bought this lubrication off AliExpress as well. It's meant to lube up the that gasket. You know, just like when you're changing your car's oil, you want to put make sure that there's lube on your oil filter. Same concept here. Right now it's all oiled up and lubed up. Put it back onto the case back. And then hopefully for the final time, we'll be putting the case back, or the case back onto the case itself. You want to make sure you don't cross thread anything. So I like to kind of go counterclockwise and then clockwise, you know, just to make sure that there's not over threading or cross threading at all. Take the rubber ball again, give it a nice tight turn so it's nice and tight on there. Make sure there's no pockets. Make sure that the gasket is not, you know, protruding out of the case back itself, which it is not. And there you go. Man, that's gorgeous. Look at the Arabic dial with the custom name. You'll see at the end it does glow in the dark. All right, final steps here for the case is to remove the protective film on the top. Man, look at how clean that is. I love the Arabic numerals there. It's so gorgeous. All right, just testing it out again, make sure there's no hiccups. Now on to the final piece of the puzzle. Putting the bracelet back on using the spring bar removal tool. Just do the opposite. This time you want to push in the spring bar. Make sure it locks into place within the lugs, which it does. Oh, it's such a gorgeous bracelet. I actually had to get a new bracelet because the first one just didn't work at all. There's something wrong with the manufacturer. It looks like the first case that I had for it, it only accepted rubber straps, didn't accept bracelets. So I just got a whole new one. Alright, looks like it's locked on there. This one even has the micro adjustment on the clasp itself, which is really nice. And then finally, there you go. There's the final result. Man, that thing's gorgeous. Well, folks, let me know what you think. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.